Alright, so today we're going to continue on what we did yesterday, where we're going to start making from scratch a new project for those of you who weren't here, and then we're going to start building the pieces. Alright, so the first step we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go press new. Projects, and it opens up the project folder. So in this case here I have this, so I'm going to delete it so I don't have it anymore, so to show you guys how to remake it again. Don't delete yours, please. This is just those who weren't here. I want to be able to show them how to do it. So now we're going to go press new, and it opens up new single project or new Vault project. The Vault project, I didn't tell you this yesterday, it's more when you have a company where there's a majority of people using the same softwares that they could go in there and take from the Vault. It's like a backup for them. In our case, we're going to use a single project. Press next. And then here we're going to go change the name. So it's important that you change the name in one location, and it automatically is going to change it in the second one. So what we're going to do is we're going to go type over here. We're going to go type Oldham, Coupling, like so. And if you notice, it changed it here, and it changed it over here. So if you want to change the location of where you're saving it, right now it's saving it to my desktop, to my documents. It's okay. But if you guys plan on working from anywhere else in the school, you only can work from that desktop where you're using now. If you, like I told you guys, do it there. Then afterwards, at the end of the week, or if you know you're going to come in later, just save it to class shared, and you can work anywhere else in the school. But a majority of the time, try to keep it on the computer because it's going to go faster. But always keep a backup. So we press next, all right, and we press finished. You're going to notice that once we make the project, it says now here the name of our project and the location and the check mark. Some of you guys may not get the check mark right away. Why? It could be two reasons. You already have a file open, so you already had this open like so. And then if you try to go to projects, like so. If I have this open like this, and then I go back, and I try to close it, and I go project, it won't let me change it because something's open in the background. In this case, checkmark means it's working, and I press done. So now if I go press new file, right away at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see that it says the name of our current project, which in this case is the Oldham Coupling. Is that clear for everybody? So now that that's working, we're going to start off by making our part file, which is .ipt. And again, in the case of our project, it's in inches. And if you look at the units over here, what does it say? It says inches. So that's the correct one. If it was metric, we would go metric. If it was imperial again, you could use English. But we're going to use the EN, English, US. And we're going to press part file and press continue, create. So now we open up our part file. So we can maximize it. And as you see here, you see your not command line, but you see whatever steps we've been working on to get to this point. So in the case of the first tutorial we're going to be working on, we're going to be making the, what's this piece called again, guys? It's called the flange? No. What's this piece called? This piece, the first piece we're making is the disc. Thank you. So we're going to make the disc first. That's the first one we're making. So again, like I showed you guys yesterday, and I'll show you again, the first thing you do is you check your sketch plane. So again, you could click over here, and you have XY, you have YZ, and then you have XZ. So these are the ways you could click. We want the XY. So you could click using this method, or you open up the origins, and you have them over here, where you have YZ, XZ, XY plane. In the case, like we said, we're going to use the XY plane. And it's going to open up a new sketch for you. From there, we're going to go use the circle command under create, right over here. We're going to press circle with a center point. We're going to click on it, and we're going to wait until the little yellow dot we're moving, goes to the center and turns green. See it locked to 0, 0. I click, and I can make any circle right now at any number if I don't know it. So right now, if I don't know the number I'm going to choose, I can just click and make a circle. Then the next step to do is under the sketch plane again, we're going to go to dimension, and we're going to click on the circle and stretch it out. And now we're going to type in our dimension, which should be 4. So it's going to pull it out like so. So there's our nice sketch of 4. Again, some of you yesterday were commenting saying, how can I reverse the scroller mouse? If we remember clearly, we went to File, Options, and then we went to Display, and then we went to right over here where it says Reverse Direction. If you click that, it's back to the normal way of you guys scrolling, meaning up goes zooms in, down zooms out. Whatever is your preference, you could keep it that way. Another thing I want to show you guys, if you do lose the Model tab, like so, how do we get it back? Is we go back to View, User Interface, and we click on Model. So those are the 2 ways I want to make sure you guys remember how to get to them. Once we have our dimension placed, in this case 4, you notice that it turns a dark purple. It may be a different color for you, but it usually comes to a darker color. That means what? That means that it's fully constrained. It's constrained to the center, so that's why it didn't move right away. And also it's constraining, to the dimension of 4. So which means if I try to move it, it won't move because it's constrained to 0, 0, and my diameter of 4. Now that I have that done, the next step we're going to do is we're going to extrude it. Let me just give me 1 second. And good. So now that we did this, the next step we're going to do is we click on 3D Model and we press Extrude. Now, if you already got out of the sketch, like if you did this and you clicked Finish, it's not the end of the world. You can still do Extrude. You just have an extra step. You do Extrude, and then you have to go, now that it's selected, it's still going to work. But most times, you can stay in the sketch to do the extrusion that you want to use. Now we go back to the extruding. In this case here, we're going to extrude it how much, guys? We're going to extrude it 0.472, right? And then you notice that it goes, there's 4 different icons over here. We have it going in one direction 1, which is coming towards us. Direction 2, which is going away from us. Direction 3, which is symmetric, which means it goes from the middle. If it's 2, it'll be 1, 1. And the final one is going to be asymmetric, which means if I have it as 4, I could do 1 direction 1, 1 direction 3. So you're able to play with it. In the case of this assignment we're working on, you could use either the first one, the second one, or the third one. There's no point of using asymmetric because it's the same number. There's no point of doing that. So we're going to go either, I'm going to do it in the middle, just to be fun. Okay? You could do it one direction. There's no wrong answer for this. And then you press OK. So now we have our disk. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to make a new sketch. Now, are we going to use it on the planes? No, because if we use it on the planes, it won't work properly. Because this case here, because I did the middle, it's going to take in the middle of my object. I don't want that. So I do Sketch, and I click on either the front face, or I could click on the back face. You decide which side you want to start with. I'm going to do the front face because it's in my face. Once you click on the face you want, you notice it rotates the object to your direction. So now we're going to add a little extrusion to the disk. Now this part's important to follow because you may have a few errors while you're trying to do this. So you click on the line command, correct? And then you click to make sure you're anywhere on the circle. You notice how it turned black. As soon as I went towards the circle, it kind of locked it to its place. So if I click, and I click to the other side so it locks as well. That's one. Now watch, if I don't do that, if I go click on one side, and I just stop halfway, like so, what do you think is going to happen when I try to dimension it? This line here will not grow and shrink. It's going to stay the same distance no matter what. This one, on the other hand, is going to follow the way the circle grows. So if I make the diameter higher up, it's going to go smaller. If I go lower, it's going to get bigger. So now, let me erase this line. We're going to draw a line and connect from one point to the next. See, it locked into place. Now, if you look carefully, my line is a little bit crooked. Is it the end of the world? No, because we have constraints right above here that are meant to help us. So we're going to go use the horizontal one, and we're going to click on this line, and you notice it automatically made it straight. I can do the same thing to this guy, but if you notice, it already exists. So it automatically adds constraints for us sometimes. The next step we're going to do is we're going to make it equal to each other. So we use equal, and we press 1, 2. What does that do? It's going to give us an equal distance from here to here and from here to here. So it uses the origin to give a division of where you want to go. So if I go type in my dimension now, from here to here, which should be what? It should be 0.472. You notice that it equally went along the path. Now, if you guys were working on it, and this happened, okay, and I go do equal from here to here, it looks equal, correct? And I go out a dimension of, say, 2. What do you notice happen? Right, actually connected. Let's do another. I did 2 degrees. No, I don't want that. Let's go back. Let's do dimension. See how it's automatically making it a degree? We don't want that. We want it to be a solid line. So we're going to eliminate these. So just be careful when you are making the lines. Oops, I zoomed in there by pressing end. Be careful when you are making the lines that you are making sure that they're touching from one point of the circle to the next. And their dimension is placed as well. So now that we've done this line, the next step to do is we're going to press extrude again. And we're going to go click on the piece in the middle. Ta-da! And you notice it's going in the direction 1 towards us. Is what exactly we want. So what is our extrusion going to be? We're going to extrude it how much, guys? What is it, sorry? 0.4? And we're going to press OK. In this case here, we actually only want to go in direction 1. Because if we go in direction 0, it's going to go inside itself. We don't need that. We want to go in one direction. And there you go. We have our front of the disc. Right? The next step we're going to do is we're going to go shift and pan with the mouse scroller. And we're going to rotate to the back of this piece. We're going to go do a sketch and click the back face of it. And if you notice, now we're going to go in the direction vertical like this, like so. But we don't know if the one behind us is in the same direction. So what we can do before that is we could go to our view and change our visual styles. And you could go do wireframe. So right now you know that this one here is going in the horizontal, and we need one going in the opposite direction. So there we go, we see it. And now I could go shade it with edges again, go back to my sketch, and draw a line. From the top, see it's black, all the way to the bottom. Right away, it added my vertical constraint. From the top, all the way to the bottom again. And we're going to use the equal button like we did before. The next step we're going to do is add a dimension. And the dimension for this should be 0.472, like we did earlier. Down the middle, it made it equally spaced. And we go, without pressing finish sketch, we're going to go do extrude right away. We click on the profile. Oh, in this case here, what happened, guys? I think my line is open. Let's try again. Extrude. No, my line is open. Let's go back to the sketch. Let's go check my sketch. Let's see if I finish sketch and then do extrude. No, that means my line didn't go right. So it's perfect. Now I can show you how to fix it. Let's go edit sketch again. And let's go, just to make our lives easier, erase this line, erase this one. Most times it's easier for us just to delete something than try to waste too much time trying to figure it out. So we'll go from here to here. Now it clicked. From here to here. Now it's clicked. Let's see if I add a dimension. It should be 0.472. Oh, I didn't do equals. Let's see if it works still. Equal from this one to this one. And now it's perfectly constrained. You notice they turned black. Before they were still green when I did it. Now let's do finish sketch. And let's extrude this piece here. And now it's independent from each other. And now the distance is 0.4. And we accept it. And if you notice, we have our piece set up over here. Some of you guys came up to me yesterday and asked, why is it that I still see lines? It could be a line there because you still have a sketch that you made that you're not using. So always look at your model line here to see what you've done. If you see that you want to see how it looks before you added this last extrusion, you could just go to end apart and drag it up. And you notice? There you go, it's gone. I could go up again, and there you go. Well, you added both of them disappeared. Want to show them all? I just go back and roll it back to the bottom. Once I'm done, I can press the space bar. Oh, not the space bar, that's the wrong software. I press the home button, and you have it set up over here. Okay, we're going to do File, Save As, and we're going to save this one as the disk. Under, see, it automatically saved in our folder that we made, and it's saving as a part file. Hit save. It's going to save it, and then we could close the file. So I'm going to stop this video, and I'm going to make another one in a bit.